are live, it is saying. And the question is sound also live? I hope it is. So I am just gonna check. Okay. So since I am starting this at a point of the day where no one is on, I'm just gonna have some fun and talk a bit about what I have been noticing lately. So if you're new here, then hi. My name is Michelle Andreasen. I call myself the neurodivergent psychic because I actually chose that name in order for me to feel okay with not being super structured. So the reason why I'm bringing this up today is I am gonna talk about not trusting, not being able to surrender, and how it's linked to a lack of confidence. And I am one of those annoying people to some people who will struggle. I will not struggle so much with some things as other people. And for me, trust and surrender in spiritual stuff, I am a quick learner. And last year in March, I was at Arthur Findlay College in Stansted Hall for a course in pure mediumship. And one of the topics, one of the days, actually had just trust and surrender as topic. And it was there in writing. And I just thought, okay, tutor is saying that is what we have to do. So I just did it. But I had been practicing for a very long time. And I was not new. I'd been talking to my guides for 8 years at least. And I was very familiar with them. But the whole mediumship, I was not comfortable with that. But when I really took in the trust and surrender, I allowed myself to not put the pressure on me because I trusted my guides. I trusted the communicators, which is what we call people, ghosts, spirits. We don't say ghosts, spirits from the other side. We're here to communicate to a sitter or a client and or recipient. What I've noticed is a lot of people put the pressure on them. I am an interpreter. I'm a channel. I am not responsible for what is coming. I am not responsible for how they choose to give the communication. I am responsible for how I choose to deliver it. I am responsible for being attentive and for doing my best to be a clear channel, for grounding myself, and to come with a high vibration, a high frequency, and to only invite in love and light and pure intention. So that is why some things are easy for me, because I do it like I have like a cheat sheet. If I do very basic things, I don't get confused. So that's the good thing with my neurodivergent brain. And if you don't know what neurodivergent means, it means not normal, not functioning the way we call normal. So I have ADHD and I'm a bit on the spectrum. I can struggle with what people call the rules of society, or I don't know. I just feel a lot. I have a better way of seeing things for what they are than what most people do, because I don't see only the surface, I see behind it. And that's very confusing, because when people say something and I feel that that's the things that are coming out of their mouth is not what they're transmitting in the energy, I get confused. But it also allows me to quickly go into things. So when I started this channel, it was because I have so much to give. My guides, I keep referring to them and pointing next to me because I have a clear sense of where I communicate with them. And it's because I always analyze. I do my own research and I do test things. So, yes, today is not going to be about trust and surrender. It's going to be about how it's super difficult for people who have not, like me, had the, shall we say, pleasure, not so much, but let's call it that to keep the vibration high here. The pleasure of really testing and playing with it and talking, and wouldn't you know, getting answers. But I don't get answers in a way that we normally think of conversation. So I don't have like, I actually often think about Pinocchio and how he has the, oh, is he called the cricket or something? But that's just like conversation. They're talking. But I do feel sometimes that it's as if I have something or someone sitting not on my shoulder, but the energy is there. And the conversation is not so much in words, it's more like gentle nudges, sensations. But I feel that it's coming from outside of not just my body, but outside of my energy field. And I have really been testing that just out of curiosity. I have never put like stress, pressure on myself to be able to do things a certain way, or then I wouldn't have been doing it right. I've read a lot of books, but I always took it as inspiration and not as the rules. But I have realized that a lot of people see it as rules. Like if one tutor, teacher, mentor is saying, you sit down, you say this, you think this, you do this. And then that's how you're supposed to always be doing it. And actually, that is not how it's supposed to be, because we're all different. We all have different ways of learning. We have different ways of being, and we have different opinions and energies and pleasures and fears. So we can develop the way that works best for us. But if we're trying to fit one person's structure, method, to really be all we do, we miss out on so much. I just saw a comment. I just have to see. Hi, I'm so glad I caught you alive. Tapestry of the unseen. Well, tapestry of the unseen. I'm so glad you caught me too. So please, if you have anything you'd like me to tap into, then go ahead and write it. But for now, I'm just gonna, Lila, your name is Lila. Super. Hi, Lila. I'm Michelle, and my guides are called Odeon, so they're here as well. I haven't really, they're there, but I haven't invited them fully in because right now I am on the stage here, just talking a bit about what they have nudged me to. So what we were talking about, and I say talking about because that's how it feels for me. But I want to clarify, it's not in words, it's in so many things. And that's why I wanted to make today about how the fear of trusting and surrendering can block people from just having fun with it like I do. Every time I don't succeed, let's say I have a teacher and they say, you have to do this, you have to say this. And then if you're doing it, you have to see the solar plexus chakra and you connect from there. And another teacher might say you have wings, and another might say something completely different. But if I were to follow one of them, actually, no matter what I do, it seems to work. But the most important thing for me is the intention. So if I set the intention, I want to connect, I want to help, show me what this person needs to know. I don't know. It's just, it works because it's the intention without fear. I just trust that if that's what I want to do, then I'm open to receiving. So what I have realized is that for some people, they need it to be hard. They need to believe that they have worked really hard to achieve a competence in this. And actually, you don't have to work hard. You can just work light, work fun. Not take it so seriously, but if it comes from the heart and if it comes from like a calling to be open, to receive more and to learn more and do more, it's so much easier. So Lila is saying, I agree. Intention and do what works for you. Everyone is different. Thank you, Lila. And I hope a lot of you out there who will be seeing this can relate to that, because even if you have had a very good teacher and they gave you a method, maybe try to see if you can, after some practice, you might actually be able to take a shortcut. There are maybe some things you don't have to do anymore, or maybe you feel like, so I usually imagine I'm filling the room with light or whatever. What if I imagine I'm floating in water everywhere? This is just something that is coming to me. It might not work for you. It's not guidance as such. It's just, what if you play with it? What if you find out, it's actually not so strict? And especially now, the times have changed. People are getting access to so much more than what they had just 3, 5, 10 years ago. And it can be confusing because today it can be hard to sense really what you're doing, because let's imagine before you had to clap your hands and make sound, and today it's just, I just do this, I push the energy, or it's easier. And sometimes it feels harder because we as people need things to be hard for it to be valuable. And I can give an example. So last Monday, I like to tell the date. So today it's May 11th, just in case you're watching this, and it's 2026. So if it's in the future sometime, which it will be if you're not watching right now, but now you know when this was recorded. But last Monday, I was talking about something. I was channeling. So my guides were coming through and actually telling how very soon we're not going to be needing the guides as much as we do now, because we're going to learn more intuitively to tap into our own higher self. And we have so much more power, all of us, that I'm tapped in now. So they're saying that we have not been given access to it yet. Some people have. It's as though they have some frontiers, some people who are testing it, kind of making it aligned with the energy of the world. And if too many of us start to play with this very high vibrating energy, it can be suffocating for people who are not yet developed to it. Interesting. But soon, so many more people are going to get access to this. And then we're not going to rely so much on the guides, because that was their purpose, was to get us ready for that. And since today the topic is how we need to not be afraid and we have to trust, I also want to talk about the insecurities that makes us not have so much fun or dive into it, or just be open. And I know that one of the things that I really, some people that I really, I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. I cannot help but reading the comments. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I know that I'm very lucky that I have this super easy connection to my guides and what they're saying, and a lot of people don't have that. So I have still a need. Yes, I know, my ego. I have a need to know that I can offer something, because I want to help everyone. And I haven't been doing this a full long life, but I learn super fast. And when I go into something, I'm eating it, I'm sleeping in it, I'm swimming in it. It's what I do. And when they showed me that soon we will need our guides, I was like taken back a bit. It's just, why have I been trained to help people how to do this if we're not going to need you? So it's the ego again. Am I gonna be irrelevant? But you know what? That's not really the point here. The point is that if we want to thrive and really be given the gift of what this beautiful, wonderful energy world can give us, it's more about living in it and, yeah, swim in it, swim in it, sleep in it, be in it, and be it, because we don't have to feel as though it's coming from outside of ourselves. And for me, I've struggled a lot with the whole higher self and trusting that I could get valuable information from my own higher self, because I didn't want to appear arrogant, which I sometimes do, because snip snap, I say things and I forget to think about how people are getting affected by it. But it's not going to matter so much with the ego thing, because we're just going to enjoy and thrive and love seeing other people doing this, because the connection that they've been talking about for so long, how if you hate your neighbor, you're hating yourself, because we're all one. It's gonna be more tangible for a lot of us. Okay, I think I managed to finish that thread, so I'm just going to go to the comments. So, and Lila said the thing with everyone is different, and then yes, some people make it complicated. Yeah, they definitely do. And I also think that some teachers, tutors, mentors, sometimes they want it to be more complicated based on what I just said as well. What if everyone can do what I can do? Then what am I going to do then? Because then no one will need me. So we still have to work with this. I need people to need me, because that's why most of us are light workers. We want to feel that we have purpose. We want to feel that someone can use what we have to give. And what if that has no value, if it's just something everyone, if they have it themselves? So I'm not going to say, luckily, people will always struggle with something, but we probably will. But let's just say, for now, don't focus so much on that. Focus on you, on your needs, your connection, and how freaking awesome it is to play with energy, because I cannot think of anything like this. I mean, I haven't done drugs, but why would I when I can do energy? Okay, one more comment. So Deborah Nugent says, Michelle, getting more detail in the spirit communication. Does this come through trust and relaxing? So yes, but not just trust and relaxing. It also comes in opening up. And so I was doing some intuitive reading today, and the text that, so I channel guidance, and what I actually wanted to know was why some people cannot trust and surrender. And the text was very much about how we have to trust ourselves first. So yes, trusting and relaxing, that will open the communication, but you really have to pay attention as well. The whole awareness. And just like you cannot have a good conversation with a friend if you're not listening, right? We have to listen. We have to pay attention. So, and it's not, let's say you're talking to a good friend and they have a dilemma or they're in pain and you want to help them. It's not enough to only listen to the words. Like you listen for what lies underneath, the emotions, the subtle things that are there. And we have to do the same when we're communicating with guides or spirit, angels, whatever you like to communicate with and what you call them. But the relaxing is very, very important, because when we tense up because we put the pressure on ourselves, we're not an open channel. Like the whole energy gets crammed as well. So that's also why we do the whole grounding is we release the tension and the blockages and we open up. And for many of us, so like I said earlier, you may have a different way. For me, it's very simple. Boom, I connect to Gaia, to Mother Earth. I pull up her energy, her beautiful energy, and I feel grounded. So I really know, okay, I'm not going to float off Earth. And then I reach out with my beam of beautiful light. And then I just, boom, reach something. And I know I'm connected. And funnily enough, that's not where I find my guides. I find them to the side because I think so this is a new sensation for me. I realized that the whole going up is me really connecting to my higher self as well. But what I wanted to say earlier that I didn't get to finish is I used to not want to say that all of this was coming from me. And that's why I always thought that everything is coming from my guides. Like I didn't really know what I would do with my higher self, but my higher self is making me aware now that I am also getting a lot from there. And that is more because I have a very strong knowing and intuition, and I'm being told now that that is kind of, so my higher self is very much linked to that gut feeling I have. Okay, yeah. And the reason why I'm getting this now is because I wasn't really ready to acknowledge that a lot of it comes from a part of me and how my higher self is somehow me, but not really. And I had to work a lot with my ego because I used to think that it was important that I had titles, and I used to be a speaker and in IT and gamification and whatnot. And I wanted to be, I needed recognition. And I worked with that. So I didn't want recognition for what I do. And that's why it's been easier for me to just be the channel. It's not me. I'm not doing this. I'm just working on it. I can still say I'm an awesome channel. I spend so much time learning their language and studying the sensations and having clients and just giving readings here and there because I find it exciting and fun. And I learn. No interaction has ever been without me really, I have to remember that, or, that was new, because they're really good at sending people with so many different things that I can learn from. And I'm so grateful for that. And that's why I want to share it, because then all of you have to do it, because not many are willing to sit and say, sometimes I fail, like I fall flat down because I didn't get it. But then I know next time, and sometimes I did get it, but I didn't get it in the right context. And then before the session is over, I have the puzzle and it fits. And then I know why I didn't get it at first. So again, I don't really blame myself because I'm always learning. I am not the expert. I'm an interpreter, and it's a language that I haven't fully developed yet. So maybe that can help someone out there. I'm going to go to the comment again. Yeah, so Lila says, I always hear from tutors about how they had to sit for spirit for years without doing a reading. Yeah, that was my issue too. So I think I mentioned last time I read the book, I don't know what it's called anymore, Gordon Smith. He wrote about how he sat for 2 years, every week, 2 years in meditation. Only meditation. That's like, nope, I'm out of here. So luckily we don't have to do that anymore. And I also feel like the physical mediumship, it's not so needed because it's so much easier for us to get really good evidence. Even mediocre mediums, I'm sorry to say that, there are mediocre mediums, not because they're not good channels or but some of them just don't invest the time needed to learn the language and to keep up the high vibration and the connection. So yeah, it's kind of, I don't want to say ride a bike because yeah, you can do it if you haven't been doing it for a long time, but you have to find balance. So I need to find another metaphor. So let's see, another comment. Mm. Deborah says, lol, yes, breathing, losing tension. Thank you. As I'm starting to get the feeling of a spiritual being sitting with me. So feeling and listening. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So I have a sensation that I should really connect to Odeon. Um, So, if there are any questions to your own spiritual path or just something you're curious about in general, um, I do feel like there are some spirit guides here who are really eager to give personal messages. So, if any of you want to ask something about your path or your journey, feel free. Um, because it's the whole channeling thing is kind of it's they're showing me like clouds gathering, not as a bad omen, but more as the energy is thickening for the whole channeling, and it's going to be available. Okay, so I think they want to give me some comfort in my sadness that they told me they will not be so needed in the future. So it's more that we are gonna have so much more access ourselves to all of this information, and they will be up in a layer as still support and masters, teachers, kind of, but they won't have to nudge us as much. And they're saying, like we had to do with you a lot, Michelle. So I don't know if a lot of you were nudged. Like, I get so much information all the time and I forget about it. So I get a reading here and they tell me you can do this and this and this. And I say, oh, that's awesome. I'm going to go do that. And I forget it because then I was hungry or tired. And then I get another reading. And then they give me new information. I don't know why they don't just repeat it and say, Michelle, we told you this. They're just expecting me to remember all of this. They shouldn't, you know. I can see there are comments, so I'm just finishing this. So, but they used to really be good at, that's why I said the whole thing with Pinocchio and how he had his conscience kind of thing sitting crooked. They gently push me towards doing the things that I've been advised to do. And if I don't do them, I can almost feel them go, because they cannot force me, they can only nudge me. But that will not be so necessary because we're going to have more, we're going to have a more internal drive to doing the things that are good for us. So the whole human prison kind of things in this, it's gonna change so that we don't feel so so we don't sabotage ourselves is probably where I'm headed for. So yeah, so Lila said, yes, I was nudged. And Deborah says, yes, what is the most important thing that I need to do to expand my mediumship and psychic development? Thank you, you're amazing. Okay, so, and Lila is asking, is mediumship the path for me? So I'm gonna go with Deborah first. Sorry, I'm just yoga teacher here. I have to sit in a good position to really go into that. So, Deborah, the most important thing to expand your mediumship and psychic development. So, full disclosure, I know Deborah. We were at Stansted Hall and doing the pure mediumship together. She's amazing and she's realized it. So yay. And I really want to help her. So it's really hard sometimes to do readings for people you know, especially if you really like them. So you have all of this, oh, I hope, or I really wish, or I'd love to tell them. So I'm going to pull myself back. Yeah, now Deborah's saying, and she has been mentoring me and I love it. I love it too. I didn't want to burst it out but yeah, that was a pleasure. So I'm so happy that we're ready to go to the next step. But I'm going to pull myself a bit back so that I don't get involved in the answer here. And I'm just going to let Odeon take the stage here. Um, so the first thing that comes through is practice. You practice already, and you're doing it not by having tests. It's no longer something it's not to prove something. It's not to improve as the main purpose. It's actually to do and to give the gift of your services. And that is the most important step, because you have gathered the knowledge needed, you have gathered the connection, the instruments, the tools that make sense for you. And some of them may seem less adept for you, but it's purely the lack of practice. So once you get more comfortable, you might notice you need to tweak a tiny bit here and there, and things will just come natural. So you don't need anything for the expansion, because the expansion comes with the practice. And just like Michelle was talking about, how she just loves to always see everything as a learning situation and not feel the pressure, that's also, shall we say, valuable for you, since we see the same flow. You can follow that steady rhythm where you're just being pulled along more than pushed, because it's just, no one needs to push you anymore, because the energy is drawing you in and showing you which way to go. So we advise you to have no fear anymore. Just follow the flow, and also the pull, like as though you have this magnetic pull to your solar plexus, sometimes your sacral chakra, and you will know what it means when that comes. It means that you're being invited to take next steps. And where before it felt more like a gentle push from behind, now you're being called to take that step. So the expansion has already been given to you, and you just need to step into it, to follow the pull. As for the psychic abilities, that is trust. Trust, and maybe not just relaxation, but so imagine swimming in the energy, as though it's always flowing around you, swirls of colors, and it's always there when you're sleeping, when you're walking around, and just enjoy that and see it as though you are ready to show your colors. You are ready to be an inspiration and to give people not necessarily colors in their life, but that je ne sais quoi, the magic is the wrong word. We wish to say a combination of solace, awe, and gratitude, because that is what you give people. That is your gift that you can gift. You are treasurable, you are valuable, and once you really can look in the mirror and say that to yourself, you will step into it. So more than just relaxation, appreciation, not just for the work you have with the energy, but for you. So that is truly the power for and this goes for most people who will be watching, listening. Appreciation for yourself will remove so many blockages and let the light flow more clear, more unfiltered through you, so that the work that you need to do to, let's say, upgrade your vibration or your knowledge base will be easier for both us and you. So we hope that is fulfilling, trusting that this gives you enough to, if not trust yourself, then trust the work you do. And Deborah says, oh my God, sorry, I'm getting goosebumps and inspiration. Thank you, Michelle and Odeon. Well, you're welcome. I love it when they come through. Sometimes I struggle with some of the words, but yeah, that was I love the flow they were showing, how you're just being pulled in and they showed me as though from you, there was this beam of light. So that expansion, it's already there, but you are, as soon as you get in to the light, it's gonna be more around you and not just ahead of you. And I see it as though they were showing it as that's the future. You see yourself and then you're waiting to arrive, but it's just one step or one intention. And for every client, the light is just going to get brighter and brighter. And then you don't have to think about what you have to do because you're doing it every time you're communicating and delivering. So that was cool. Thank you for that. Okay. And Lila is asking, is mediumship the path for me? So, Michelle, not Odeon. The first thing I'm getting is you have some blockages on mediumship. You have tapped into it, and I feel like you've actually had more intense experiences, like. But there's some fear there because I used to be afraid of seeing them, but I wasn't as such afraid of ghosts or spirits or whatever. But I was more afraid that I wouldn't be off duty, that if they all came, just like from, I think it was the movie Ghost, where Whoopi Goldberg was suddenly, no, leave me alone. They were all coming because they realized she could see them. I was afraid of something like that happening. But here I feel there's something more in it, both the responsibility that lies in it. If I do this, then how can I not? How do I set boundaries? Where am I going? So the question is mediumship the path for me? And I see you have at least 3 different paths to choose from, where mediumship could be one, but I feel like that should probably be when you feel comfortable with all the energy. I do sense some healing, but not as though, I feel as though you've not truly grounded in the healing, but that is based on your own belief as well. I don't know if you can take this, but I feel as though you have so much more to discover and to open up before the mediumship, and untapped resources. It's as though, so usually I feel how people are connected into the earth and how they can create from there, but I feel like you haven't even started to really tap into what there is for you once you are truly connected. This is weird. I've never seen this before. So speaking, I was talking about how people are different, and this is the first. I just want to tap into what this means. I think I need to ask Odeon. Yes. So this is another level, another set of energies that is somewhat new, because the curiosity here is also strong, but in a different way. The curiosity inwards is a new kind of, let's call it energy imprint, this way of generating energy from within and not so much from without, that you must be aware that you are doing is, is what can complicate it for you when you are following those methods, those steps. First do this, then do that, because it seems as though it's not really working, because you have this, let's call it generator inside, that makes it feel as though, I want to so I feel as though it's as though, this is Michelle again. I read the comment and I tracked out of it, and that was my insecurity that came up, because I'm only human. And Isla wrote, interesting. I don't have fear and I'm developing platform mediumship currently. Haha, so funny. But what I'm sensing is what they've already put. Actually, interesting knowledge. I've realized that it's as if I get a tiny bit and then they log out, and then I can unpack it as though I got a big data package. So what I got was, I saw you as almost like a balloon, and where other people seem to, the energy is just like, most people I've seen, I think more or less all of the people that I've tapped into, they do the whole light running through them. But I feel as though you have this giant, like enormous screen. It felt as though it was a brown ball and green light just shining out through it. It looked amazing. And it looked like all the power was coming from inside of you. So you have so much untapped energy. And I believe the reason why I saw green is because that's usually linked to healing. So you must have noticed that no matter how you work with this, even if you're doing the mediumship currently, it's the healing that you give people. You somehow manage to deliver. It's funny. It's almost as if you don't even have to say anything. You can just emit a kind of healing frequency. And I notice it can really freak out some people, because it's almost otherworldly. I don't know if you can relate to this, but you must. Can you take that? Sometimes people react weirdly to you, where you feel like you haven't really done much, or there's no logical explanation to it, but it's simply because you're emitting this energy that is, I get a high pitch ringing in my ears, and so I don't like to talk about angels, because I want to be able to be relatable to all people. And it took me a long time to grasp the whole concept of angels, but I feel an angelic connection. So, yeah, okay. So you're saying I can resonate with the internal light energy, and I've always been different. Yay. So most of us probably have, and that's why we're okay with being different publicly like this. So that can be a good thing. So the energy thing is a good thing, but if you allow, I can ask for guidance as to how, because I really feel like I'm afraid to pop like this balloon and all this energy that I feel like it's about to burst, because it hasn't really had an outlet. It's as though a lot of things has been put in, and every time you learn something new, it's like it's still trapped. And that's the fear I'm feeling. It's, where is it going? What am I going to do with it? And also how come this feels different than what other people are explaining? Because it's so weird for me to feel this energy, because it's not at all how I feel it. I'm really feeling like, wow, you have like a nuclear energy vibe. It's insane. So I'm gonna stay with Lila here and just see what this means, because I love to learn new things, and I love that they make sure I get this information. So Odeon, please come through. And yeah, so I'm still seeing those. They're showing the three it's funny. It's as though they don't wanna influence on the decision. So they're just again making me aware that you have three paths right now that seem to draw you, and they're all linked to energy. So I'm assuming healing and psychic abilities and mediumship, and it's you have the ability to do all of them at once in a very strong combination. But it's as though that it it's as though it's a chemistry um, mixture where the one so the one ingredient that can allow them to blend, to mix, like you can't mix water and oil because something is missing. So once you manage how to put them all together, it's really gonna be powerful. You have had some experiences where um, it's as though if you want to count to 100, you say 1, 2, 100. It's just boom, you get to the result without no effort. And other times you struggle and don't know why. So do you relate to this, that you just haven't found out how to properly blend these energies because they're so poignant? Yeah, and you say thank you. I will always be learning. So yeah. I I feel as the most important part of the mediumship journey for you is to understand that the healing part is what you're kind of here to do. So the reason why you're drawn to the mediumship is I feel it's personal. It's linked to something about how the experience of people who we have lost, as in who have crossed over, how the pain and hurt from that can kind of slow life down, and the whole knowledge of them still being around, how healing that can be, the experience or the sensation of watching people's lives change is really what you feel drawn to. And that is what is gonna make it so much easier for you. So if mediumship is the one that really rings true to you, then just acknowledge that you will always be a healer in your heart, and that the energy you have is I keep thinking poignant. It's super poignant. And that's, I don't think I've ever used that word before, but that's something that's really hard, super powerful, effective, right? But I do see if the platform is what you want to do, then I see how boom, a whole entire, like I see like an opera, like a theater that how you will have the energy to reach them all, and they're gonna feel your energy. It's like a the presence you have, especially when you're connecting. So I actually feel as though, so I have Odeon that I connect to, and I'm able from, it's kind of like I tap into Odeon. From them, I can tap up to the, I guess it's the same that a lot of people call the Galactic Council of Light. But I kind of go through Odeon to them, and I clearly sense that shift. But I feel as though you have the ability to whoop, just go that much higher when you can leave behind all the human low emotions, like the ambition, the nervousness, the wanting to achieve. So I hope that makes sense to you, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more about this in years to come, if you choose to. And yeah, you're gonna go your own ways, and I think it's really important that you were here in the beginning when I started talking about how what others are saying is the right way is not right for all, because that really goes for you. What you know, that yes, this seems right and I can tell it's true and it's worked, but it's not right. So it's because it's not right for you. So you already have a really good relationship with your guides, and you can just use them like I do. Just tap in, hey, help me out here. And it says, aha. And I'm seeing as though once you really start using them, it's as though you get that outlet for all the energy, because they can help you. So they're gonna create a better flow, so you don't feel like you have all this potential, but you don't know how to maximize the value, the results, yeah, whatever it is you want to accomplish. But you'll get there, and they can help you, and it's going to be fun for you, because now that you notice how you're different, just do whatever feels natural for you. And Lila says, thank you so much. Good. And then we have, I have to watch the time. I'm almost at an hour. So I have like Lindsay Kern. Do you have any messages from the other side for me? I lost someone extremely close to me. So this forum, first I want to say to Freya, hi, nice to see you again. What is the subject this beautiful day? It is primarily about trust and surrender, but not in the, just trust and surrender, but how the fear of it can keep us from moving forward. And it's usually based on us thinking there's a special way, or that we're not doing it right, or we put pressure on ourselves. And you can borrow my trick. I put the pressure on them. So if I struggle and I do my best, then they're not working well enough, because I really see my communication with my guides and with spirits. It's a teamwork. And there is no I in team. Teamwork is a team. So if I'm struggling, they need to step up, and I don't take full responsibility. So that's kind of the team today, that invite them in and don't try to do it all on your own, because how can you? Your brain is a human brain, and that is not the one we need in this communication. We need all the energy, and we need the senses. And that's why we have to trust them enough to put aside all the restraints that we tend to put on ourselves, which keeps the energy down. So I hope that explained it. And hi, Tina, love and light. Nice to see you again. Okay, so back to Lindsay. So as I was saying, this is more to help people develop their spiritual abilities, but I can just quickly go in and see any messages from the other side. So I'm getting an overwhelming sensation of love, and also loss from the other side. And I feel as though I've lost a child, but as though, I don't know if this was your mom, but I'm feeling that the separation goes both ways. So I definitely feel that I don't really feel so much. Usually I get a lot of the personality. So if it's someone you've recently lost, I just feel motherly love and a sadness for not being able to physically hug anymore. But it's not coming through. And I think it's because I put a timer on it. Like, we don't have a lot of time. So what is it? Because I have to do the healing as well. So I'm just going to quickly The motherly feels wrong as well. Could be a big sister or um, where were you, Lindsay? I definitely feel a female energy. Can you relate to that? Because it's the whole, I feel like I want to be able to go through the screen and give you a hug. Uh, but I also need to give you a hug. So the person coming through miss hugging you. So that must have been really important for you in your relationship, that whole hugging thing. And also, I think we must be at mother again. So yeah. So see, this is also a good demonstration of when you're pressuring yourself. When I have doubt, then I kind of lose it because now I started thinking, why do I feel like I'm cradling a baby? Is it a mom? But it also felt like a big sister, and she wrote extremely close. So I have a hard time putting aside my brain now. And that is my guides playing tricks with me. It's because then I can communicate what it is that happens so that you can learn. If you're a medium, that sometimes we do that. And that's when we have to let go of it, all that desire to do it properly and to get the right. And I pull the information in and I see a baby again. And that is really, I feel the baby's important. And I don't want to let go of the baby. Lindsay say, it was my fiance. Were you by chance pregnant or did you have a child? Because that we have a child together. It was my fiance. Thank you. Because I really feel like that baby, that thing that there's just a sadness to not have this anymore and not being able to hug you. So that whole holding on tight. And keeping you safe. So I really want to keep you safe and hold on tight. And that's the worst thing. But that's all that's really lost because the presence is still there. Keeping up with what's happening is still there. But the ability to be able to really give you that hug, that is that would have been as if it could kind of close. I won't say a wound because that wound can keep on being there, but it would have I feel as though it must have been something between you that if you could just, the two of you could fix anything. And that is kind of what I wish I could do now. So, and you're saying he was an amazing father and I'm struggling so hard with our son right now. Yeah. He is there and you're not alone. Yeah. So to not, I'm so sorry, Lindsay. I would love to go deeper into this, but you would need more. So I don't know if Deborah, I know Deborah, who is also in the comments, she's an amazing medium. She could help you here. But it's really important if you can just take that one thing with you. He is really hugging you in the energy, hugging both of you, the child, the mother, the loving thing. And there's just so much love going to you now and support and I keep hearing you are not alone. Don't do this alone, as though you're having a hard time reaching out. So there's an urgency or a wish that you get help and not try to be a super mom, because you are a super mom and it doesn't have to be that hard to be a super mom, because you can't fly and there's no need to make it look as though you can. It's okay to be vulnerable. I hope this makes sense to you, because I feel like I need to lift the energy now for the healing, but I'm getting from my guides that the healing is going to be for everyone who has lost and who is struggling. And that is also what we started with as the topic here today, that sometimes we struggle so hard to find trust. How can we trust something that we cannot see? How can we trust ourselves when we can find proof that we're not worth trusting because we fail ourselves? And Lindsay says, thank you so much for this. It means a lot. I really appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate that I got the opportunity to tap into this, because I could tell how important this love was, and how much love there was. And I'm glad that I got to tell you that you are not alone and he is with you. So much. It really felt motherly, the way I wanted to just scoop you up and protect you from everything. So that was a pleasure for me. So, and Deborah says, yeah, I feel like your child feels him, welcome him, and your missing translates to your son. If you do the opposite, you will fill this space and your son will feel your fullness in knowing his father is, yeah, and there's not more in that message right now. So I'm going to let Deborah, is near. Yeah. Thank you, Deborah. I hope Lindsay could use that. Okay. So I'm just going to close to the spirit realm and not my guides, and go into a healing now that is meant to, it's going to help absorb the hurt. So not the memories, not the bond, but the hurt related to it. And that relates to it also relates to the bond with your inner child, if that's where you struggle, if you felt unseen, unheard, unappreciated as a child or a teenager, if you have lost someone, if things are just hard, a struggle, how we can remove the pain and the hurt that we ourselves have somehow facilitated. Not to say that we're responsible for it, but sometimes there's pain and hurt that is necessary for us to take the steps. Sometimes it needs to hurt before we can move on, but sometimes we cling to the pain and hurt because we know it, and if we let go of that, what else are we letting go of? And are we then forced to feel better or do better or take the next steps, or what is expected of us on the other side of the pain or the hurt or the lack of self-esteem? If I get over this, how am I gonna move on? And do I wish to move on? Because sometimes hanging on to the known just feels safer, even though we here and there get glimpses of what is on the other side, and it may look amazing, but what if it's not? What if we then get another struggle or another struggle? And yes, it may be that there are struggles on the other side of this thing that we're working on releasing. But then know, if you can release this now, then if something else occurs, we can release that. It's all part of what you're here to learn, to find compassion, to find understanding. And it's very hard to understand how any of the pain and suffering should be something that we could appreciate. And I get that. And that's one of the things I personally have been working a lot on, realizing that if I was never sad, I wouldn't be as happy when I was happy, that I get to be tired and too much I have to do. And then I see the sun shining and I go from that low mood and I go out and it's, oh my God, I forgot how amazing life can be because I really let myself into all that pain, the doubt, the frustration. And then something as simple as the sun shining or the flowers blooming, how much pleasure there can be in that. If it was always like that, how could I appreciate it? And I know it seems superficial to compare the hurt of losing your loved one, or maybe your job, maybe your health, maybe whatever, um, to being tired, or to, but there are so many degrees of it, and some people can take the small things and make them big. Some can take the very big things and make them small, and we can learn something from each other. But mostly the healing that is going to be channeled today can help you get a new perspective and not put so much strain and pressure on yourself to it's the whole be more, do more thing that it's excellent to have a drive to be more and do more, but sometimes be, not necessarily more, just be, is that break we need to recharge, and maybe to have enough energy to, I don't know, walk a few steps up to see things from a new perspective, find a new solution or a new path. And that is where we're going to go now. So, so I'm going to go into the healing now. I don't think there are new questions that need answered, but I'm glad that Lindsay and Deborah got linked there. So, So how this healing usually goes is that I have no idea what they're going to do, but they're usually guiding into a meditation. So find a comfortable seat and really make yourself comfortable. I mean, if you need a blanket or two and pillows, because make yourself a tiny nest or whatever, because we're going to help you release some things, and it can feel scary. So it's going to be as though they're building up a cocoon. They showed me that we're going to build a cocoon of comfort and light, but you may want to help it with whatever you have around you. Maybe you have a crystal that you want to hug. Maybe something else. But just give yourself time to settle in. And also, when we make sure that we're comfortable and not just okay, we're giving ourselves a signal of love, that we deserve to feel good and that we want to give this to ourselves. So I will invite them in to build the cocoons. And no matter when you're watching this healing is going to work, because the intention is set to help anyone who need to release pain and suffering that is linked to a lesson that has been learned, or to a lesson that is not being perceived because the pain or the hurt is dominating or overshadowing the lesson. So it will be gently released or loosened, and it will work through all time and all space, no matter when, as long as you set the intention and trusting, if you can, that this does not mean we're going to remove memories or bonds, but only that pain, that hurt, that feeling of frustration of the things that you're not able to do, or of the future you thought would be, that is no longer possible, because then you'll be able to see what then is there, to see the light ahead instead of the darkness around you or inside of you. So if you work with us in this, you can set the intention, and a small warning: if you set the intention to be open to also sensing how this releases where in your body, so you get more in touch with your own energy system and the knowledge of where those blockages might appear and how you can help release them in the future. You can put that into your intention, knowing that it might pinch a bit and you might get the bodily sensation of when it's being released or loosened, maybe even as though you're quickly pulling off a band-aid. So when you're ready, and set the intention either to just super calmly, gently release what you can release now, or to get the learning by being able to sense what is being removed and how, so that you might even get a vision of it, or a sensation of it, or a knowing, or however your senses work. But know that you are in control, and that nothing will be done that is not true to your path, to whatever your higher self, your soul, is here to experience. Okay, so start by breathing. Firstly, just to get in some energy. So there might be some fear. What is going to happen when we touch those treasured wounds, those bittersweet memories, and for some, even part of your identity? How can you truly release and let go and have the courage to step into this new version of you? So breathe into that and just find comfort first. No pressure, no requirements, no stress. Just breathe. And with your intention, we are building up this beautiful cocoon of light, of comfort around you to support you, as though a magnetic field is being created around you that helps you gently, gently, gently pull out from your energy field, from your body, from where it clings, where it is holding on, whatever feels blocking or crushing, even to some. And just breathe into the sensation, into yourself. And then on the exhale, allow yourself to soften, to let the shoulders drop, to let the tension drop. And every out breath, just imagine that you are actively helping this healing, that you are actively deciding to work with it and trusting yourself, trusting your energy, and trusting that your intention of inviting in love and light and the purest divine energy is enough for you to trust this process. And you might also get a sensation of some heavy energy leaving from the lower body around the root chakra, or even your bum, your legs, and just being pulled out gently, slowly, as though a lightness is entering the body, while this pulling energy is being sucked out into the ground and away from your energy, so that you can thrive and get more of what you deserve. And once you have set that intention, once you have opened up, once you have felt how the breathing is working with you, you can just automatically breathe the way if you weren't thinking about it. So just relax now. And if it feels right, you can be open to sensing that you have helpers around you right now, working on your energy, working on healing old wounds. And some of you might even get a sensation of the Akashic record being updated with this new experience. And just be curious if that is what you normally would feel inclined to do, or you can just let go and just be in it. There's no requirement, there's nothing you need to do. We are working, we are giving, we are helping, we are supporting, calming the nerves. So the work right now is around the heart area and the throat, and you may experience a sobbing sensation as though some sorrow is leaving. And just watch it. If you see things, see it leaving, or maybe feel it, or just know that something has changed because a weight has been lifted from your chest, from your heart, from your back, your shoulders, your hips, your legs, your feet, your hands, your head. A lightness is taking over. Maybe a slight dizziness of this unexpected experience of no longer carrying those negative or hurting emotions, bonds, blockages. And as you surrender to this emotion, just allow yourself to receive while we are webbing golden threads of lights all around you. A healthy support system for your growth, for your healing. A web of love and light all around you that holds you together when needed and that grows and expands when you have the energy yourself to take up the space that is yours. And we invite you now to step into the core of what you are, to sense what truly lies within you of love and light, and how you may not be able yet to feel it or see it, but allow yourself to notice the sense of movement that is possible now that the restraints have been lifted. And if you feel to bask around in this now, just imagine yourself inside of your core as maybe a inner child version of you, dancing around or jumping or moving or finding comfort in the lack of darkness, the lack of despair or fear of the unknown, because the unknown can hold so much beautiful light and love. And that is what we wish to give to you, a chance to step into the unknown and to believe that it might be a magical, wonderful fairy tale, but in real life. And it may be simply enough for you to wake up in the morning and look forward to the day ahead. And for others, it may be the belief that you will meet a special person who will help you, who will guide you, or who will love you. Whatever it is you are ready to allow in and that feels comfortable. As long as you are open, we shall do what is for your highest and best good to help you find it, or more correctly, attract it and harvest it as a result of all the work you have put into getting to where you are at. And know that we shall do our utmost to help you not to have to go alone on this path, and to never overcomplicate things for you. As this pattern has now been removed from your energy system. We thank you for trusting us, for allowing us to give you this gift, to be available in the sense that you working on lifting your light is lifting everyone's light, as you are part of the bigger whole and hence never alone. With much love and gratitude, we say goodbye now, but we will be back, and feel free to connect to us should you yourself feel inclined to further investigate who are there to help you and guide you. We are at service. Thank you. Okay. So that is a forceful energy. And this is Michelle again. Odeon has left the building for now. Curious though that they open themselves up to anyone listening if they want to connect. And if you have not heard about Odeon before, that is the name that was recently given to me because I still I do not wish to know all the guides because I struggle with names. I can tell energies and I don't know their names. So Odeon is more like they called themselves like a consultancy agency. So that is the collective, that is the place where a lot of different energies are working from. So they might change, but I still connect to the same place, and so can you. And what they have told me many times is that a lot of the people who will be drawn to my channelings, my messages, will have some of the same helpers. And they are, let's say, saving energy when they can transmit through me, and then they don't have to transmit also to you because they just did that. So yeah, so Deborah says, thank you, Michelle. Goodbye for now. Thank you, everyone. I felt that. Yeah, I really feel it too. I'm still really I like that cocoon. So it was a pleasure having you here. All of you, anyone who stopped by, I'm so grateful for that. And I'll be back next week. Same time I was about to say, but it's really a dumb time because it's Danish time, 1919, because I didn't want to do 1900. But since a lot of you are not in Denmark, I'm probably going to change it so it's more on the dot. I just find it's easier for me to be on time when it's a weird time. Yeah. Wow, the energy is really heavy in this healing. I wonder what I released because I couldn't really participate, but I definitely felt the work here. Yeah. So it has been a pleasure being vulnerable with you and to channel for you. And I will, if you put a comment to this video at a later time, I will still read it. And if it is a question to the guides that you wish answered, I will send it up and they will probably answer it the next time if you're not able to be there. But if not, then join next time. And every Wednesday, I also release a video that is only healing. So Should you require more healing with a new topic, then that will be released in 2 days. They don't really have much more to say. Much more. They don't have, I don't get anything else. So, again, thank you for being here. And I really appreciate it. It's very nice to feel the energy here. It's funny, I feel as though the future viewers are also really part of this. I feel that pull towards something in the future that hasn't really happened yet. So that's awesome. So this is me, Michelle Andreasen, thanking you for being here and wishing you all the best. And remember to treat yourself kindly, especially after this healing. If something was released that needs some rest and rejuvenation, and that is also something you can call upon your guides to help you with, because you don't have to be alone in that process either. So yeah, I will see you, hear you, read you again, and I look forward to it. So again, thank you for your support, and find more support in some of my other videos. I have playlists for psychic abilities development, I have for mediumship, and I also have healing videos and some musings where I didn't know what kind of topic to put on it. So it's just me saying, hey, did you know, or I just noticed. So maybe you can find something valuable in that. And then I'm gonna say goodbye for now. I love you, and I will be back, and so will Odeon. So take care. Mwah.